Alright, here we are, downtown again in Lismore, 6:30 a.m, a bit earlier this morning. A lot of us have to start going back to our day jobs now so we can actually pay rent. A few updates today on the PM's visit to Lismore yesterday, who did not face the locals, surprise, surprise. So I went up to the council chambers to await his arrival and maybe even actually see him. But no, none of us did. He had a rather quick and mysterious entry. You couldn't really see clearly and there was only VIP media allowed in. There were a shitload of police. There were protests happening. There were heartbroken members of the community trying to reach out for help. And there were many calling out in frustration, demanding that this man actually do his job. Here, take a look at the video from yesterday. All right, just arrived at the council chambers up here in Gunnellabar. People everywhere. Wonder who's coming to town. Can't even get a park in this place, eh? We've got everyone waiting here for the Prime Minister to arrive. Blocking the road here, waiting for the Prime Minister to arrive. The council chambers here. The convoy's just arrived. I got no idea what car he's in. Probably this one. Here we are at the council chambers. The Prime Minister's just arrived. No more compromising. The water is rising. The water is rising. No more compromising. The water is rising. I still want to know if his favourite ice cream is strawberry. Absolutely incredible stuff, hey? There were some really powerful speakers yesterday, right on the front lines, like Mandy Nolan and Sue Higginson. Have a listen to what they had to say here.
May is the time we get rid of this man and we try for something better. Our disappointment that we were ignored today. We have each other and we must stay together.
The community are asking, why are this happening? Are we going to live through this again? Because climate isn't getting addressed. You can turn up here for a photo op, hand the community some money and leave. That's what happens. But what's going to happen to people here? Where are they going to live? We were already in a housing crisis, and now we've reached an absolute catastrophe.
Where is the New South Wales Planning Minister? This is a planning disaster. The Premier was here, he saw it, he named it. This is beyond belief. Not a dollar will be spared, he said.
What, once in 1,000? Someone even said once in 3,000 year events every 2 or 3 years. This is what it looks like to live in a climate emergency.
If we don't see this as the proper warning that it is, let the experts plan and let us be the community to build and be resilient and adapt, then it's just not fair.
And after that, I actually ran into Friendly Geordies, who was in town. I've been watching their videos for years, mostly on political commentary. I thought it was a great opportunity to ask Jordan what he really thought of this incredibly complex and multi-layered situation.
And keep in mind, we've only been here for a couple of days while the cleanup is happening. But I have to say, it's the same story as the bushfires, which is incredible that it's a replay. And also in COVID as well. But he's faced 3 crises, and I don't think he's learned the main point, which is during a crisis, you have to do a little more than have a shot of you at an emergency services clinic hugging an old man. Like you should. It's the same thing as what happened to the bushfires, which is a complete lack of funding in emergency services, which, not to go that macro, but it's during climate change that this is just going to keep happening over and over again. And it is shown routinely that the Liberals systematically do not care about public funding at all to vital services like police, firefighters, the military. None of that money seems to be going into actually assisting the public. It seems to be going into keeping the public away so Scott Morrison can get his shot of hugging an old man. That's where the public service funding seems to go from the ground level.
And mind you, that was filmed before Scott Morrison arrived yesterday. Jordan was absolutely spot on there. So after all of this, the Prime Minister did a live press conference, and what he said is, well man, he absolutely talks some shit, sweeping so much under the carpet Man. Anyway, so he said the national emergency hasn't been fully declared just yet. It still needs to go through some of its formalities and will hopefully be locked in by tomorrow. We'll obviously wait and see about that. I kind of feel Perrottet and Morrison are sort of pointing the finger at each other on this one. He also mentioned that he extended that $1,000 one-off payment to 3 payments, plus some counselling thrown in on top of that. However, Ballina, Byron and Tweed Shire will be unable to access any of these payments, which is just absolutely insane, man. He said it's going to take about a month to clean up and collect all the rubbish and debris that's around town. So there was no talk about flood mitigation. He just diminished the issue by bringing up other natural disasters he's helped in. Good on you, Scotty. But the thing we were waiting for is, will he be using any money from the Emergency Response Fund? He said he will be diving into that money, although from what I understood, they're going to dip into that money bucket as they need to. So nothing was really specified. So what he said is something like, we're not talking tens of millions, we're talking much more than that. But he didn't mention any specific figures. Of course, right? Like, that political wishy-washy language is key in all of this shit. There were a lot of disappointed locals yesterday with this entire lack of urgency. Like, it's a joke, man. Anyway, we'll keep battling like we have this whole time. The community spirit's never been higher. Everyone's so connected and supportive here. It's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. Like, I know we got this. So please keep doing what you're doing, everyone, and stay safe.